I still have to come back to music. It's like a magnet. Every time I'm away from it, I became another person, and I'm back with it. I'm back with my instrument. I'm back in the routine that I'm practicing. I'm planning for the future in music. Then I become me again.
Donna, it's so lovely to speak to you here on Zoom.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, we see each other in Vienna, but I did your photograph also for the project Moments in Lockdown, and it was so lovely. I always remember the ice cream you gave me on the hot day. But Donna, I would love to speak to you about your career as a pianist, and I just also have to say to you that you are absolutely my highlight on Instagram stories.
Thank you.
You always make me smile. But you are in Vienna, and the last time I spoke to you, you were still studying at MDV.
Yes, I'm still actually studying in MDV. Yes.
And what are you doing? You're a pianist, but what are you studying at the moment?
I'm studying right now the pedagogy piano. I think this is how it's called in English. Yes.
Okay. Where did your love for music start when you were a child?
Oh, that's actually a very interesting question for me. As you can see, I'm Asian.
Yeah.
Yeah, so love didn't start at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
It was much more... my mom actually forced me to to learn the piano back then, because as every Asian kid should learn an instrument. I mean, like, of course, it's not a must, but we all say like, oh, every Asian kid should learn an instrument. And in the end, that this, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm really bad at
No.
So yeah, my mom actually forced me into learning the piano, and my grandma also helped in it. And in the end, I kept learning piano until I was in high school, and puberty hit. It hit me really hard. I have to say, puberty hit me really hard. And I stopped playing the piano. I was not in the piano lessons, even though that I made an appointment with the piano teacher. I used the piano lesson time to do other things when I was in high school, first year of high school. So have a year later that I was still in puberty, and I found out that my life was really empty without music. And that's the moment I thought, oh, I need this in my life. This is something that I feel like, that makes me feel like that I'm a person. And that's why at that moment I decided to become a professional pianist in the future. And I came to Vienna to keep studying piano. Actually, I started piano again in Vienna.
But do you think it's important that you made that decision, that you felt that this is what I want to do?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, that was the moment I know that, okay, I'm doing this I would want to do this for my whole life, or at least the most of my life. And now every once in a while, I still have the craving to quit sometimes, of course. Yeah. When it gets too difficult, or when other things get too harsh, then I'll start to think maybe if I do something else, it would it would be easier. My life would be easier. But actually, it's not. So I still have to come back to music. It's like a magnet. Every time I'm away from it, I became another person. And I'm back with it. I'm back with my instrument. I'm back in the routine that I'm practicing. I'm planning for the future in music. Then I become me again. So yes, it's a very, very important moment for me back then in the puberty that I had the first instinct to say, okay, music is my life.
But I'm so glad that you are so open and that you're so honest about this, because you're saying now that sometimes I feel I just want to quit, because it's also not an easy life. It's not an easy career to be in. And you have a lot of pressure, not only pressure to perform well and to do this well, but also probably pressure on yourself, that you have to do it.
Yes, absolutely. There's a lot of pressure, and I'm very honest with myself because I'm somebody who needs to see the reality. The reality and planning is very important for me. I cannot just go have a random dream and say, okay, I'm going to be an astronaut.
Oh yeah.
I cannot do this. For me, it has to be step by step. I need to see what is working, what is not, and how is it working with me. Yeah. And of course, yes. And I'm now older, so I have to think of more responsibilities now. And there are more elements in my life that I have to take responsibility as an adult. That's why I think being honest with myself is always it's always very important for me. Yeah.
But now you are now studying to teach piano, and can you see now that you were talking about this stereotypical all Asian children have to play an instrument, but can you see now the value in that?
As a professional pianist.
Yeah. Could you see that maybe it was a good thing that sometimes children are put in the situation where they have to play an instrument, or do you think it really should come naturally and they have to make the choice?
I think from a pedagogy perspective, it's not a must to play an instrument, but parents should try to give the kids as much as possibilities as they can. Show them the world, the possibilities in life. There's not only school, because I have some students and they do very well in school, but the activities in school is just, for them, it's like a routine. And if without piano or without something else outside of the school, then they will think this is life. This is how life would look like, or this is actually how the world would look like. It's so boring for them, even though they actually do well in school. But for them, it's not something that they really want to do. But so I think having the opportunity to learn something or to dedicate yourself into something else outside of the school during the childhood or during puberty, it's a very, very helpful element, especially in puberty time.
Yeah. And do you think if more children, because now in schools it's not so, the focus is not so much on art or art education or music education, and do you think that if there's a switch, that there's more opportunity for playing music or hearing music, that this would also then bring more music appreciation then and future audiences, for example.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's something that I would 200% agree with.
Mm-hmm. And how do you think this, as now as you're teaching, as you're learning to teach, how are you approaching your pupils now, or the teaching your lessons now? Do you work with children that are that you know that they have the potential, or are they just going to do it for the love for music?
I approach them by trying to get to know them as a friend or as another human being. I would try to see what are their main interests, or what are their interests are, and how their personalities are. Mm-hmm. And for me, my student being being professional, if they want to be professional in the future or not, it's actually not the biggest topic for me in teaching, mm-hmm. because I believe that I show them all of the possibilities that they can have in music, in teaching. And also, for example, I would send them always some concerts to go, some recommendations for concerts, or some tours in museums, so they can take a really good look. Or from my perspective, I try my best to give them the possibilities, to show them possibilities in art, so they can develop their own, I would say, art personality. Mm. For me, it's the most important thing in teaching, and also my wishes for my students.
Mm. And tell me, and performing, do you do performing as well?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, every year I plan my performance. For me, performances are two types.
Okay. Yeah.
One is the things that I plan, that I really pour my heart inside. Mm-hmm. Every year I have like a couple of months that I have very intensive concerts, and those are the concerts that I get to play what I want to play and what I want to do in the concerts. And there are the other performances, which are like more of work as a musician, which I also enjoy. But like, these are two things. One is like I create really from my heart. Mm-hmm. And the other thing is a part of my work, which I also really enjoy. Yeah.
And what is it that you enjoy playing? Which composer is it that the work that you enjoy playing most?
Wow, that's a very hard question, I would say.
Okay.
2 years ago, I would answer you, it's Mozart, it's Schubert. But this year, I would say I enjoy Debussy very, very
really?
well. Yeah.
And why?
Back then I loved Mozart because it's something inside his music, this very organized, but also full of surprises. This kind of music, it just speaks to me. Mm. That was 2 years ago, but now I still enjoy playing Mozart. Now, this 2 years, especially last year, I perform very often Debussy, and there is this new, I would say for me, very romantic side of me that I found Debussy. Mm. And that's something that's just very new for me. It feels very natural for me. Yeah.
So how do you get to now suddenly feel this music differently? Is it something that changes in your life, or is it sometimes when you learn more about the composer?
I think my love for Debussy started at me learning his compositions by the order of my professor.
Oh, really?
Yes. So sometimes it's very, very important to have somebody who you and kick your asses to, okay, now do this, something that you're not so familiar with. Yes. And I'm very grateful for my professors. They are not this kind of professor which tells you exactly what you should do in music, but they try to guide you what you should see in the music, or how you see it. They build the bridges for you. They will not put the goal in front of you and say, look, you need to be like this. Mm-hmm. They really try to build a bridge for me, and they say, look, read this, read that. Maybe you have a new perspective from Debussy. And
who is your professor?
My current professor is Tim Ovens, but I have my last professor in the Wagner Conservatorium. Mm. He is Hafiz Babashahi. He has the most influence on me. Mm. And he never told me something that it's not working. I still remember that he tells me very often that I will tell you to do so, but you don't have to listen to me. In the end, you should listen to everybody and have your own version and be confident about your own version. Yeah. So these two professors they're really treasure for me in my musical. Yeah.
Well, that's great advice that he gave you, because it's true, and you have to be authentic as well, and interpret it the way you are.
Yeah.
Mm. So now, what is now your wishes for the future?
My wishes for the future right now.
Yeah.
I hope the biggest topic, of course, I hope there will be no war in the whole world. That's actually my biggest wish right now. And we get to perform freely. There will be no restrictions anymore. Of course, in the legal side, illegal things, of course, it's a big no. But I mean, musicians, we should not. I hope there should not be any restrictions with performing like back in the Corona time, or I don't know if we're still in the Corona time. Some countries, they're still suffering a lot from Corona. So I hope there will be no restrictions for everybody in this, so we can go back to the normal life. So.
Yeah. And on a personal level, where do you see yourself going? What is the dream now for you? The realistic dream.
The realistic dream as a musician.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a really big topic. I hope that I can, as we talked about, that being a musician, it's a very stressful job. I'm not saying that another job is not stressful, but being a musician, I think the most stressful part is how to stay being a musician. I hope in the future I can still be the musician, have the luxury to perform and to teach.
Well, and I hope you keep this personality, this sense of humor that you have, and it's lovely to see you always. I mean, on social media, you, like I said, you're really a highlight for me on the stories, and I think this is part of your personality, and you should keep it and treasure it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. But now, Donna, just one last question. Tell me, where do you go for coffee in Vienna?
Oh, where do I go for coffee?
What do you drink? Tea?
I'm much more an alcohol person.
Oh, okay. Where do you go for a drink then?
I drink a lot of coffee also, but I'm not a big coffee lover.
Oh, okay.
I do have certain standards that I'm asking for when it comes to alcohol.
Okay.
I love the cocktail bar called Das Bestens in the 7th district. Mm-hmm. But I also don't drink that much alcohol. Mm. When it comes to now it's the time to relax, to go out, to go drink with friends. If I would go out, I would go to Das Bestens. Yeah. For 1 or 2 cocktails. But normally I stay at home because I have a collection of whiskey at home.
Okay. How do you drink whiskey? Okay, my daughter also, she loves whiskey. So
really?
I've never had whiskey really. So
over, you and your daughter come to us one time.
Yeah.
All the whiskey that I collect.
Oh, amazing.
I'm actually very proud of my whiskey collections.
Yeah.
They're collections that we can buy from the supermarket. I go to I like to go to some like for example, like fish markets where are the small productions presents themselves, and I like to go to their regions to buy the whiskey, which
amazing
purchase in supermarkets. So that's why I like to drink at home.
Yeah. But amazing that you do that and that you collect that. It's very interesting. Now I would love to come and taste. Come for a whiskey tasting.
Yes,
Donna.
Please, I'll open even new bottles for you.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's wonderful. But have a lovely afternoon and thank you so much for your time.
You too. Thank you for having me and thank you for the invitation.
Okay, and we'll see each other over a whiskey then.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Okay, Donna. Bye.
Nice afternoon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.